I think I heard some harmony in there. Hey, y'all, welcome to BanjoBenClark.com. I'm here with a lot of my new friends holding a cabin camp here on the farm in East Texas, and I'm excited for you to watch my latest lesson from inside cabin camp. If you're watching here as a Gold Pick member on BanjoBenClark.com, you've got all the resources you need right here on this page. But if you're watching somewhere else like YouTube, give me a subscribe and a like on this video. And don't forget that you can become a Gold Pick member at BanjoBenClark.com, access over 800 lessons for banjo, mandolin, and guitar. I'd be honored to have you on board.
You know, last session we went and kind of found some melodies to some familiar songs, and it turns out that the pentatonic scale covers a lot of the melody notes that you need to play a lot of the jam songs that we're here at camp doing. And I think we used, was it Uncloudy Day as an example there? How many of you have attempted already to do that on your own, just playing one melody in different keys and just seeing if you can pull it off? Anybody? Just for fun. A lot of times you do that just because you have to. You have to suddenly change the key you're playing something in on the spot. But if you start doing that for fun at home, then it won't be so hard when the time comes. Plus, it's just the best exercise when you get familiar with just what different keys feel like. And the cool thing is with mandolin, you know, especially if you're talking about, you know, just this first, I'll call it box one pentatonic scale, where your index finger is on your root of the scale that you want to play, then a lot of those keys can kind of feel the same because you have a pattern, you know, that's movable throughout the whole neck. And so that's what's so neat about mandolin. It's, you know, the fingerboard and the fretboard's pretty friendly for you, moving keys and moving around. So I think we played an F. We played E, played G and A. Well, you could just as easily do F sharp, B flat, E flat. And so we're going to cover just some of those closed positions. We might also get into some of the open pentatonic scales, which are really fun because they're laid out nicely with some of the main keys that you play in. So how many of you, I know we hit on it a little bit, and maybe some of you took away what makes up the pentatonic scale, if I was to ask you. Right. The fourth and the seventh are the notes we're going to leave out of the major scale. And the major scale is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there's a formula to that, and we've learned that. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, which is the same as 1. So that leaves you just with 5 different notes to work with. And we're just going to mess around with those 5 notes mainly this session. And, you know, that can get to be a little bit limiting, honestly, when you're just working with 5 notes. But the point of it is to just kind of have a frame in your head of the notes, kind of set a framework mentally for what may work with most melodies. And from there, when you get comfortable with that, it's really fun to start sliding into notes or finding the blues tones and maybe the minor pentatonic scale or the blues pentatonic scale, which we'll see if we have time to get into that, which is a whole nother kind of sound that makes it, you know, kind of modally sounding. But let's just stick to this. We're going to do this major pentatonic, and we're going to just start, let's just do C, the key of C here. Let's find that C note on our mandolin. We can go here for now. There's 2 different C's down here, one here, and there's one there. You know what? Let's start with the high C, that 3rd fret on the A string. And let's find the normal major scale using all fretted notes here. Yep, y'all are already playing it. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's the same thing on each string. I'll talk frets here. 3, 5, 7, 8, 3, 5, 7, 8. Those are the fret numbers. And so, cool. Well, we know what that sounds like, right? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So now we're going to go along and we're going to leave out the 4th and the 7th scale tones. So we got 1, 2, 3, and skipping that next one. And then 5, 6, skipping the 7, 8. So what you're left with is this pattern. Okay? Awesome. How many of y'all are pretty familiar with that pattern? Maybe a few of you, that's great. And it definitely comes out in your playing. Some of you are probably familiar and you don't realize it, maybe. Maybe you're not thinking, okay, I'm gonna pull out this tool in my toolbox, but you're doing it already with some of the songs you're playing, and maybe you're playing it open. You're using the open pentatonics. I'm sure you're all doing that. But, the G lick that Ben does, that everybody does. That's just the pentatonic scale, the G run. I also kind of think of when it's cold outside, my girl. And you'll start to recognize this scale all over the place. But it just works. So it works whenever you're kind of like, oh man, I don't know what to do. I know the general melody. I bet it falls. I bet I can play this pentatonic scale and at least get some of those melody notes in there. So let's play that C again. Okay, and then come back down. Awesome. So, if that's our C pentatonic scale, the cool thing is that the main chords that you play are C, F, and G, 1, 4, and 5. That's the main chords to most songs, right? 1, 4, and 5. And on the mandolin, your 4 is just right up underneath you, towards your face. So if you move up this way, you've got your F, which is your 4. And the same pattern applies for the F pentatonic. So let's try that. We're starting with the F. We're doing the exact same pattern that we were doing when we did the C. Yep. Nice. Good. Awesome. So far we have these. What's kind of cool is that within these two scales, you have lots of overlapping notes. So a lot of these notes will work with both the 1 and the 4 pentatonic. Let's go to the 5, the G. Let's see what would be an easy way to find the 5. You could go here to this G. Can you do it from there? The same exact pattern. Yeah. Or let's go to this G, since it's kind of up high and it's real fun to play up there. Well, you run out of space, right? Obviously, there's no other string to keep going to complete that scale. If you were to start that pattern on this G, it's not there. So, but it's just good to know that these notes are in there. That's part of the G pentatonic scale. And some of those notes are part of the C pentatonic scale. So a song like a lot of songs will just switch from 1 to 5 all the time. And you can't always just think in your head, all right, I gotta switch to another, scale and put my finger on the root of the chord that we're playing, and by the time you do that, the chord's changed again, right? And that's not really the idea we're going after anyway. It's more like, how can I switch in between? If you're going to be switching pentatonic scales, what is a smooth, economical way to kind of switch? And where are the overlapping notes, like that I can kind of stick to that work in both scales. That's kind of what I think about. But we're just going to start focusing first on not even switching to those scales of the chords that you're playing, or the appropriate scale for the chord that you're playing. But rather, we're going to stick to just the scale of the key that we're playing in, okay? So then we're going to see how fun it is to, after we've mastered that, we're going to go and play and start switching up a little bit and transitioning to different
So with the root
chords.
note or root chord of a song, if you played the scale of the pentatonic, wouldn't it be sort of with the other two, with the 4 and the 5, those notes, or no?
A lot of them are, overlap. A lot of the notes that you find in the 4 and 5. Yeah, well, that's good. It's good to realize that, a lot of the tones that are found in especially the 5 pentatonic are the same as the ones that you find in the 1 pentatonic. Okay, so I'm going to play a little groove in the key of C. Let's see what we can come up with playing just some of those C pentatonic notes in any order that you want. Just kind of mess around with those 5 notes and just try to stick to those for the sake of this exercise, like to those 5 notes. So we've got, those are our notes. Okay, we're just going to stick to those 2 strings for now, okay? Okay, so this could mean that you hit a note, a tremolo on it, if you want, or it could be that you skip some notes. Just whatever you want to do. It's going to sound like a little bit of a ruckus with everybody, but just kind of get used to it. Don't think about, what you sound like, and just get used to kind of having that freedom of, you can do 2 of this, an octave like that. That's a C and that's a C. For those of you that are ready for that, yeah. So, 1, 2, just start playing around. 1, 2, 3. Back to 1. Nice. One more time, do it again. 1. 4. 5. Nice. 1, 2. I'm gonna do the chords to Rolling in My Sweet Baby's Arms. Ready and go. Rolling in